Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, August the 22nd, 2022. Monday, August the 2nd, 2022. Today's recap, General Hospital is okay. It was just kind of interesting, the way they played these scenes. We had Sunny. See, Sonny really wanted to start something, and I'm happy Nina didn't fall for it because he wanted her, this Quartermain annual GH picnic to benefit the children's wing at the hospitals being held at the Quartermain estate. And he asked Nina to go with him as his date. And Nina had enough sense to say, no, she wasn't going to do that, and thank goodness for that because that would have been a nightmare. So Dex shows up at the Quartermain Estates bringing a donation from Corinthos Coffee, an espresso machine, and a year's worth of coffee. And of course, Michael's like, "What are you doing here?" So they go off to the little boathouse and they talk. And he's saying that Sonny is mad at him. He may be firing him because of his background and this, and this. So your plan may have, backfired. And Michael said, "No, it went exactly as I wanted it to. I picked you specifically for your background because I knew that would be like a soft spot for Sonny because he wasn't able to protect his mother from his stepfather. So he told Dex, this is the next thing you're going to do." And then we had Willow. Willow spent some time with Britt during the consultation, and Britt was telling her that it was crucial that she starts getting treated soon for her health. And Willow's like, "Yeah, but what's the mortality rate or the likelihood of miscarriage if I start now?" And she says it's about 35% in the first trimester. And so Willow then says, "Okay, what happens if I wait till the second trimester?" And it goes down to 10%. And so Willow's like, "Then no, I'm going to wait. I have to wait." And Britt just kept talking to her. And what she got her to see was, you really need to think about it because you can wait. The cancer progresses. And not only do you lose the baby anyway, you lose your life. So then Willow asked her, "Have you ever had, this happen, and, a case like this?" And Britt said, "Yes, years ago. The baby survived, but the mother did not." So she told her, seriously think about it. And so Willow says, "Well, I have to talk to Michael." And I thought, let's see if you really do. But at the end of the show, it actually looked like Willow is going to tell Michael unless somebody runs in and interrupts her. See, for me, I would take him home. You live on the property. So I need to tell you something, but not where we could be interrupted. It's important. And then tell him. I would not tell him where, anybody's going to run in, their son is going to run in, or anything. Okay. And then they had a cute little scene between Leo, Olivia, and Brooklyn. They're talking about, oh, Dante and Sam need a little Sicilian something potion, love potion, and just a little nudge in the right direction. And then at the end, and Olivia's explaining some people need a little nudge, and this potion is supposed to, if you truly were in love, is going to make you see it. All of a sudden, at the end, you see Leo with Grandmama Sicilian or whoever she was, Grandmama, whatever they called her, her little handwritten potion. I don't know how Leo had got a hold of it, and he got the special carnation, so he's getting ready to do a little potion. Let's hope it doesn't make Dante or Sam sick because, oh my goodness, this child is getting ready to mix something up, a little elixir. Okay, that's going to be crazy to see. And watch what happens. Brooklyn and Chase are going to drink it. How much would you like to bet that's what's going to happen. Brooklyn and Chase are going to drink that and fall in love or whatever. It's going to be cute. If that happens, that's going to be very, very cute. And then we have, let's see. Oh, I really like the scene. Spencer came to see Britt. And he says, I came to apologize to you. And she sits at her desk and she's like, you've already apologized to me. He goes, no, but I need to apologize again. I really, like, he really wanted her to know he was sincere. He's like, before I go to Pentonville. And then he told her the whole story. And she's like, wow, you did all of that for Trina? And she's like, how does she feel knowing this? And Spencer's like, she doesn't know. She's not going to know. There's no need for her to know. You know, Trina was never mine to begin with. She deserves better than me. Well, thinking, oh my goodness, oh, now you're selfless, Spencer. But, you know, he is trying to make amends with everybody. I'm respecting that. I'm hoping in the 9th hour, something happens that Spencer does not have to go. I can't see a true purpose in Spencer having to go to Pentonville. There just isn't. I would like to see something happen, and it's not looking like it's going to, but I would like to see that something happens. And then we have Portia. Well, first and foremost, then we have Ava and Spencer. Ava and Spencer were talking at Kelly's. You know, the usual sniping at each other. And Ava's like, I want to know what's your ulterior motive. What are you up to with Trina? And he goes, I did it. I tried to provide Trina with an alibi. And then Ava's like, yeah, like, but all the pain you caused her for her not knowing. I really want to know what else is in it. You know, she's looking for any old thing in Spencer, but she truly, Ava within herself, she's starting to soften up where Spencer is concerned. Spencer is the one that's still truly holding on to this. You lied to me when I was a child, and I was going to say, like, hold up, Spencer. That was more than 10 years ago, you know, the way soap opera land has aged you. And Ava said, look, if half your face is melted off and you are in that situation, then we'd see what you do to have your face restored. Pretty boy. You know, she goes, and I didn't lie. I changed my mind. You know, so then she goes, and somehow they kind of snipe back at each other. She goes, you just feel that with me out the way, you and your father would get this relationship that you had before. But I got news for you. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? She goes, well, yeah, well, you asked for it. She was getting ready to tell Spencer about Esme and Nicholas. And I was thinking, yes, tell him, you know, not so that, you know, it would hurt him because he's allegedly over Esme, but I think Spencer should know the kind of father he has. Spencer, it's going to come out, and I wouldn't have minded for it to come out right now. But of course, Nicholas happens to walk in, and he kind of gives these little veiled threats to Ava. And Spencer ends up leaving, and then Nicholas is like, I know you weren't going to tell him. And then he goes back to, okay, then people would know you had motive if Esme's body washes up. And I'm thinking, we're talking about all of this in a public place, as usual. I'm surprised somebody didn't overhear, right? So Esme's like, are you threatening me, Nicola? He goes, I'm not threatening you. I'm just stating the fact. And by the way, you need to make sure you've moved back to Windermere today. And so then he goes, I want you to come to the Quartermain picnic with me today. I mean, Nicholas was making all kinds of demands, but I kind of think Ava wanted to go to the picnic because she sure did not protest that she wouldn't go to a picnic with him if the cows came home. You know, she just looked like, And I'm thinking, oh, she really wants to go to that picnic. Okay. You know, so that was, and Nicholas is thinking like, oh, okay, I can expect her at the picnic as she sachets out of there. So, but it's funny. The interactions between Ava and Nicholas, to me, are kind of comical at times. They really are. I sometimes I like it because they're so unlikely together. It's funny. It's laughable half the time. And then we have Curtis and Portia. It opens up early on in the show, them at the pool. Okay, having a little drink and just celebrating. Finally, they got some calm time. Then Marshall shows up talking about he has an appointment at GH. And then they go back into the whole schizophrenia. And he asks Curtis, have you thought about getting tested? And Curtis says, no, I mean, I would only get tested if I knew I had a child or I was going to have kids. And then Portia's just sitting there and I'm thinking, girl, that secret is going to backfire on you. You're going to lose Curtis. And then Trina's going to be, I mean, I don't understand Portia not telling. And see, then you get yourself in the situation where you let it go on for so long. How do you tell? Well, you should have told it years ago. Years ago, when you came back to Port Charles, or all of a sudden, because I kind of think they were always in Port Charles, because Jocelyn and Trina have been friends since middle school. Portia just worked at Mercy Hospital, not General Hospital. So, where did Portia work? Because I know Oscar Nero's mom worked at Mercy. I think Portia did too. She did not always work at General Hospital, but but Trina and Jocelyn have been friends for years. So, but my whole thing is, once you got into Curtis's orbit, you should have told the truth then. She should have told the truth, and it's going to backfire. So anyway, he goes, wait, there's something at the bottom of the pool. And he goes jumping in the pool, and I'm thinking, oh my God, who's drowning? What's happening? What's going on? Then he comes up with an engagement ring in his hand. She goes, well, did you find what you saw at the bottom, in the pool? And he goes, yes. She goes, well, like, what was it? Our future. And he gives her the ring, and it's this ring, and she's like, oh my goodness. And then I have it in this picture. It's like, okay, snapshot, add Curtis Ashford to the pool guys. Okay, we've had our wide range of pool guys. He now has visited the pool, and he's finally flexing some six packs in this pool, so we can add Curtis to the list of guys. So that pretty much was it with General Hospital today. Still, no Sasha, no Brando, no Gladys. That's interesting. If anybody can find out some information on why we're not seeing them, is somebody sick? I know why we really aren't seeing Carly. That's because Carly had COVID. Her and her boyfriend Wes, who used to play Peter August, they're together, a couple in real life. They came down with COVID. So I knew Carly was going to be gone. But what about Sasha, Brando, and Gladys? So if anybody hears or finds out some information, please comment. Speaking of comments, let's go to Comment Corner. We've got Robin. Robin says, hello, enjoy your reviews. Thank you, Robin. She loves Violet. Yeah, I do too. She says Violet made the episode. Yesterday's episode pretty much was all about Violet in the pool and Violet matchmaking, right? And then she says, Annette says TJ is a very handsome doctor. She's glad that TJ and Molly are still a couple. Me too. I hope they keep them as a long haul couple. And okay, Annette also says, how old is Donna? And what will Sunny do when Willow learns the truth about her real mommy? Well, I think Sunny will push for them to have a relationship. And I looked up the information on Donna. Donna Corinthos was born on screen September 19th, 2019. September 19th, 2019. So Donna should actually be 3 years old on screen next month. 3 years old. And watch, Donna's already going to be 5, going to kindergarten. next time we talk about it. Carly will be saying Donna's ready for her first day in school. And then let's see, we've got, yep, that's it. The other comments are older comments. I've already responded to them. So I mean, I understand the comments are less because there's actually been less to comment on. You know, it's like we had that adrenaline rush from, you know, the climax of the trial, and we had so much good stuff going on with Spencer, the trial, Sasha, and Willow doesn't really count. But now that all of that's calmed down, we're like, well, what on earth do we talk about? I'm gonna have to start making up some scenes to talk about. No. Anyway, let's hope tomorrow they move it along and give us something interesting to watch. I mean, right now there is no real storylines popping off on General Hospital, so we shall see. We'll see what's going to happen. But I will be back here tomorrow for the daily recap of General Hospital for Tuesday, August the 23rd.